Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to Katawa Shoujo, episode 99, and the start of our playthrough of the second to last path, but the second full path, the last full path, sorry, of Katawa Shoujo, Lilly. So, before watching this, I highly suggest you go and watch the first 13 episodes of Katawa Shoujo. The very first 13. Episode 1 to 13. And near the end of 13, I'll get to this choice. Stop there, and then come to this video. And this is exactly the same route as Hanako's at the start. Up to this point where we choose to go to town instead of going to the library. And then it's going to be exactly the same as Hanako's again. So watching the first 16 or so episodes, watching all the episodes up to just before hide and seek, basically, I think, would work. So, yeah, this is going to be. Watch episodes 1 to 13, and then come watch this episode. Or watch 1 to 13, then watch this episode, then stop, and then go watch 1 to 16, or whatever. Because I imagine this is going to be pretty all over the place. Until we get into the main chapter 2, which is like Lily's main thing, which is separate from anything we've seen before. Because the first act is always pretty similar. It's just you deciding which path the girls are going to go down. So I'm cleaning my cat's eyes here. Oh. So here we go. Here we go then. Let's do this. There has to be something that I can do to kill the time. So, yeah, we're going to kill some time. Into the idea of Hanako. Somebody look at her seat. She's vacant. She was left for the library. So she's looking to kill some time. So we go to town. We're going to go hang out with Lilly, basically. So we go for a walk into town. Following Hanako to the library seems a bit intrusive. There was a reason she left the classroom after all. Old burnt face girl. We're back with Hanako now as well. Hanako will pop up into the story a lot more. Back where we started. Come full circle. And that aside, I do want to catch up with Lilly. At the very least, I'd like to thank her for looking out for me despite her other obviously taxing duties. I guess I'll walk around town. With any luck, I should be able to find Lilly. The exercise will do me some good as well. Walking through the school courtyard to the gate, I give a small nod to a couple of passing classmates. Hey! Oh shit. A couple of passing classmates. The gesture being returned in kind. Hey! Even from here, the shouts of the sports club members can be heard. From the sheer volume of the din, yeah, the track must be pretty packed right now. It's probably the sports meet thing, isn't it? I remember what Lilly said yesterday about being dropped right into the middle of a busy time for the school. While I'm trying to get my bearings, I catch up on study that I've missed. Everyone else is doing normal school activities. The feeling of being a foreigner still hasn't dissipated, at least not yet. Well, I guess not everything's bad. This is a private school, and that much is easily noticed. When walking around outside, not only are the school grounds huge, but the buildings themselves are immaculate, and quite divorced from the dime a dozen concrete blocks of public schools. There's also the fact that there's a much stronger feeling of community here, or at least a friendlier atmosphere. At my old school, it was generally accepted that people would keep to their little clique and be done with it. Clique. Eventually, I reach the gate and begin to walk down the road and into town. Well, that was fairly productive. Yeah. Having seen a fair portion of town, even including the houses perched on the hills around the outskirts, I decided to take a walk around the park before heading back. Living the city all my life, the total lack of smartly dressed businessmen and fashionably dressed girls strikes me as incredibly unusual. All that's to be seen are the old elderly person. Oh god, sounds like my town. Shuffling around the sidewalk and assorted busily chatting about pairs of middle-aged women outside of small storefronts. Oh god, that sounds way too much like my town. Walking along the road to the park quickly distracts me from them, though, making me realise that I could perhaps push myself further than I should have done to see as much as I could. As my breath begins to wheeze and my chest tightens more and more, I give up on the prospect of soldiering on. Stupid mouse. After a quick glance around the park as I enter, I take a seat on a wobbly old bench that I noticed near a couple of vending machines. Why are there vending machines in a park? What? B, why are there vending machines in the park? Huh? That's crazy. That's crazy, Oprah. That's stupid doopy doo. That's crazy. You're talking craziness. That's stupid doopy doo. Having vending machines in the park. What? For minutes on end, I sit with my head bent over, forcing myself to take deep breaths. I feel more like an old man than a teenager who should be in the prime of his life. Anybody want to dance? The stay in hospital and the medication must be taking their toll on me. Damn it. Eventually, my breathing returns to normal, and the muscles in my chest loosen. Not without a fair measure of relief. I guess at the end of my little sojourn, though, in any case. I guess at the end of my little sojourn. No, don't go to that place. There's a cafe on the far corner, so I'll stop by to quench my thirst before heading back. A little bell over the door signals my arrival to an empty counter. For a few moments, I stand there waiting, my eyes every now and then again drifting from one end of the counter to the other, searching for a service bell. No. Eventually, a door, some ways behind the counter, opens, the person emerging from it taking me by complete surprise. Yuko? No, what are you doing here, Yuko? Hi, I had no idea you worked here. I really have no idea how to address her either, given that she is technically school staff as well. Apparently a waitress. She quickly paces up to the counter before flinging her upper half downwards in an overacted bow. Bashing me like, oh god, why did you bow and knock me out? Welcome to the Shanghai. May I take your order? Straight down to business, I see. Yeah, I like it. I like it. I don't want to chit-chat with you. I don't know, some coffee, please. Please? Yes, certainly. I'll make it right away and bring it to you when it's done. Thanks. Yuko's formality takes me aback. She seems to take her job very seriously. Obeying her instructions, I turn around and quickly glance around for a free table. Considering the cafe seems to be empty, this is a simple task to accomplish. As I walk to the table adjacent to the window, I notice a flash of yellow around one of the table dividers. A flash of yellow. Sure enough, no more than a glance is needed to ascertain that it's a certain Satou at the table. That said, I don't recognise the suited figure across the table from it. Man, you meet that character pretty early in this one. Blonde, fair-skinned, and only a little shorter. She? I think she must be a relative. It's Power Suit Lilly. Lily's alternative brother, sister. Brother sister. Vampire brother sister. Since the two are all but silent as the suited figure takes a swig from a cup of coffee, I decide to greet Lilly. Some part of my coming here was in order to meet her after all. Hi, Lilly. Hisao? Right, what was it? I think it was that, wasn't it? Hisao? Yeah, nice to see you again. The suited girl looks up, noting my uniform with a relaxed smile. Know each other? What? Know each other? Oh, that was it. Oh, hey! Do you know each other? I guess? It's as good an approximation of our relationship as I can think of. Care to take a seat? She says this to the air beside me. Yes, airman, I would love to take a seat. Excuse me. Ah, great. But the message is clear enough, and I take a seat beside her. I suppose some introductions must be in order. Hisao, this is Akira Satou, my older sister. Akira, this is Hisao Nakai, another Yamaku student. Looks like my guess was correct. The newly introduced Akira gives a nod, which I return. What I don't return, however, is the almost analytical gaze with which she looks me over. Oh god, she's back. As she does so, Yuko walks up to the table and carefully places the coffee on the table before bowing and taking her leave. Yeah, get out of here. Gently bringing my hand to the side of the cup, I realise that it's already at just the right temperature to drink. After taking a sip, the flavour turns out to be just as good as the temperature. It's so awful I throw the cup at Yuko. This is disgusting, Yuko! Yuko seems to do a lot better at this than being a librarian. Don't compliment her, you'll give her an ego. I take a good long drink before relaxing into the seat. It takes me a second for Akira's examination to come to an end. Apparently becoming quickly bored of the activity, she turns to her sister.
Oh, hey! So how's school recently?
That is Akira's voice, by the way. It seems Akira is entirely unconcerned with someone who doesn't know at all, listening to everything they say. Not that I mind. Leaving them to their chatting, I sit back and continue drinking the pleasantly aromatic coffee.
Sounds like it's pretty busy for you, then.
At least I'm not cooking your meals after school anymore. As they talk, I slowly realise that I'm entirely unable to gauge Lily's emotions through her eyes, as I would for any other person. It becomes slightly unsettling as I subconsciously focus on that fact.
Oh, so cold! Weren't you just cooking for yourself anyway? I only ever got leftovers.
That's not the point. That's not the point. Are you managing to feed yourself at least?
I can cook without blowing myself up, you know. Mostly.
That's...
It's fine. I needed to learn sometime anyway.
Oh god, she's back. Lily? Everyone present is momentarily distracted by Yuko, who places a cup of tea on the table for Lily. Shut up, Yuko. God damn it. Taking the moment to glance at her watch, Akira levies herself off her seat and gives me a quick nod.
Well, I'd better be off. It was nice talking to you, Lily.
Akira, do you have to? Lily looks genuinely mournful at her sister suddenly leaving. It does seem like she might have the wrong idea.
Sorry, I need to get back to work. I'll be on my neck again if I don't make it back quickly.
Why, that turned to Welsh.
Oh, hey, back quickly. Oh, isn't that lovely there? Oh, hey, I'm going to be doing this all night.
So informal. Akira's trim and tidy appearance would give anyone the wrong impression of her. Bye, Akira.
Come on, don't look so down. I'll be around again. See ya.
With that, she waltzes out of the Shanghai with her hand held high. Lily still looks slightly depressed, so I try to make some small talk in an effort to take her mind off it. She seems nice. We used to live together, but now that I live at school, we hardly ever see each other. Despite Lily being quite affable, I don't really know much about her. In hindsight, it's surprising just how much she's extracted from me, really. You used to live together? What, was it somewhere around here? It was pretty far south, so the trip to Yamaku was fairly long. With her working hours getting longer and Yamaku being so far away, there was little choice in the end but to move into the dormitories. Well, that explains the chatter about cooking. Evidently regaining her composure, she livens back up, at least in part. I take it you're better rested now? Sorry? You sounded less exhausted than you did when you first came in. To be able to pick out my breathing like that, she must have pretty good ears. Yeah, ended up walking all over town, despite only planning on taking a short walk down here. Reminded of my thirst from the walk, I lean forward to take a sip. Without further ado, Lily starts on her cup of strong-smelling tea. Unfortunately, being blind, she misses her mouth and hits her eyes. Ah! I guess I better get going to the Yamaku, and then becomes Hanaku because she burns her face in scalding hot coffee. I guess I better get going back to Yamaku. There's only so long I can stall studying for. I want to get a good night's sleep before the festival. Standing from my seat, I take the coffee-stained cup from the table. You're leaving? Yeah, going to head back as well. It's getting kind of late. For a moment she pauses before lifting her face over her teacup as if she was looking at me. Yuko, could we have one more coffee, please? Yuko, could we have more coffee, please? Excuse me, can I have more coffee? Over here next to you. Right there, can I have more coffee, please, Yuko? Be lovely, that would I? Oh my gosh, should I give her that? Should I do that for one episode and see how it goes down? Okay, I'll be right away. That's not subtle. She gives a short giggle at my frank assessment of her maneuver. It's surprisingly childish and carefree, given her otherwise collected appearance. In the end, though, I have little reason to refuse. To be honest, I can hardly say no, all things considered. Giving a manufactured sigh, I take a seat opposite her. Wanting company, then? I'd say it's more that I was wondering. I'd say it's more that I was wondering. I see she's in a questioning mode again. She does seem to be unusually interested in me, or at least curious. Do you have any siblings? Not exactly an unexpected tangent. No, only child, to be honest. The idea of having someone that close makes me a bit envious. Interesting. I raise an eyebrow, which, of course, goes unseen. The short silence communicates the question well, though. She's like, oh, wait. Yeah, fuck it. I'll raise her eyebrow. That's what I'm doing right now, Lily. That. It's just that others have said the same thing before. It's a difficult subject to try and think about objectively, given that I've always had someone like that. I can mostly understand what Lily means, given that it would be hard to place oneself outside of a situation they've been in all their life. She and her sister must have a pretty close relationship. Taking pains to interrupt us as little as possible, she's like, okay, the cup of tea. Yuko dutifully comes over and places a cup on the table. Oh, cheers, love, for the cuppa. Oh. How about a quick chip buddy? Oh, can I have a chip buddy, ma? Chip buddy, love, that'd be lovely. I would. Oh, cup of tea and a chip buddy. Lily thanks her as I sit back, taking in this vexing girl in front of me. Despite always seeming to be on her guard and in control of herself when talking to others, she has an almost childlike curiosity about other people. That said, those rare moments she seems to slightly lower her guard are the most insightful into how she thinks. Reaching forward for my drink, I realise something I probably should have noticed earlier. I think I'm starting to become kind of curious about her. Despite making a good pace, it's already nightfall by the time I reach the large iron gates in front of the school. While it's nice to have plenty of time to wander around by virtue of living right next to the school, I can't help but get the feeling that very few students actually take the opportunity. Compared to the number of students I see milling around on campus during free time, it's startlingly rare to see anyone around town. Given the large number of accommodations and facilities that the school offers, many of them might simply not see any point in venturing outside, let alone people such as Hanako and Kenji. It makes me wonder if students like Shizune, Misha, and Lily are the exception for the school, rather than the norm. As I wander back to my dorm room, I continue to compare my old school with Yamaku, and as I do, I begin to be surprised that I managed to get even this used to everything that's happening to me. There you go. Now, what happens next? It should be a straight... It should be a straight run all the way to Lily now. Okay, so if you go back to Hanako's path, you go all the way through to the festival takes place, and we talk to Lily, who's at her stall and is being stressed out. So that's what we get up to. I think normally you go and see Hanako, but this time you choose to stay with her. Right, I know what I'll do. Even if it's just one person, I'll make the festival more enjoyable for her. As I place the bowl on the counter, I call out to Lily. Ah, Hisao. Hisao, you brought it back. Yep, here. I slide it into her hands, and she takes it over to someone who is apparently on cleaning duty. Considering that I didn't see them before, it's probably a penalty for their tardiness. Hey, Lily? She perks up and returns to the counter. She hears my voice again, realising that I'm still here. Wanna go see some more of this festival? She puffs her cheeks disapprovingly. Looks kind of cute. Like an incomplete contradiction to her usual reserved nature. It takes a few seconds for me to get used to what she's taking issue with. Oh, oops. Oh, I didn't mean to. Lily giggles at me, exposing her teasing for what it is. You're still not used to this school, are you? She got me. Still, I kind of need to stay at our stall. It's taken until just now to even get everything unpacked. I guess her reluctance shouldn't overly surprise me, considering how much work she's put into this. Everything seems to be running fine now, though. Besides, you've got extra help on your hand anyway. A boy in the middle of cooking some soba noodles turns toward us, grinning.
Go on, Lils! You've earned yourself a break! We can hold down the fort for now. Go on, soldiers!
If you say it's okay, then I suppose so. But if you need any help...
And we'll call you. Go on, we'll be fine.
Lily finally gives up her resistance, and he waves a spatula at her. Get out of here! She feels her way around the back of the stall and picks up her cane on the way. I guess the first thing we should do is look for Hanako. Lilly seems kind of worried about her, and I doubt she's the kind of person to enjoy milling about in crowds like this, all alone. So, I guess we should search for Hanako. Where to first? The both of us go quiet for a moment to think. Maybe she's in her dorm room? I doubt it. She doesn't keep too many things in there, so she'd have nothing to do. Ah, the library? I'll keep doing this for the rest of this one and see whether or not I want to keep doing it. Maybe I'll just switch to it now and then. As good a place for it as any to search for an avid reader, I suppose. The library it is. We'll check there first then. Aside from the muffled sounds of the crowd seeping in from outside, the inside of the school seems almost deserted. In order to make sure everyone had enough room, I guess all the events were organised to be held outside, on school grounds. They're definitely quite large by any other school standards. It's nice and quiet in here, isn't it? In here, isn't it? Yeah, much nicer than the hustle and bustle outside. We take our time and slowly walk through the first floor of the school, eventually reaching the stairs to the second floor. I can't help but notice how Lilly anticipates every door and obstacle, her cane remaining still and her hands skating along the hallway rails. You really know this school well, don't you? She smiles and nods straight ahead. I've been here for years now, so I know where everything is. The dorms still trip me up though sometimes. I haven't been there as long, and they're not as well laid out as the main building. If I'm remembering rightly, used to be in unused buildings before being renovated and used as dormitories. That explains why the male and female dorms look different from the outside, and their rooms seem kind of unusual for sleeping quarters. I'd assumed she'd been living in the dormitory since she began attending the school, but now I'm reminded of what she said yesterday. Oh, that's right, you mentioned that before. I'd assumed that most of the students here lived in the dormitories once they enrolled. A lot of them seem to, in any case. Lilly's expression becomes somewhat harder to read, my questioning evidently touching on a delicate point. Well, how should I say? Everyone has their reasons. Yeah, someone tells me that one of those reasons is Hanako, hensing her tiptoeing around the answer. My own predicament is yet another such a case. I guess it's a choice everyone here has to make for themselves, or in my instance, have made for them. It can't be helped, I suppose. At least Yamaku itself seems like a nice place. It's good to hear you say that. I thought you were coming to dislike it. What about you, though? My reversal of Lily's statement takes her by surprise. I've been here for a while, so... It's not that. You just seem pretty depressed about Akira. What's with the look? Akira's taken. Sorry, Hisao. Lilly never sees how fast my palms meet my face at her sly accusation. Hey, I was worried about you. That's no way to respond to concern. While she gives an amused grin, we round the corner of the hallway and enter the library. It's the deer caught in headlights look. As we do so, Burnt Face Man. It isn't hard to spot Burnt Face Man, considering the room is completely devoid of anyone else. Given that there are no staff around, I guess there's no need for to heed the usual library rules. I call out to her.
Oi, Hanako! Oi, Burnt Face, get over here! Get your fucking ass over here!
Hanako is here? As she hears our voices, Hanako's head flicks up from behind a book. Probably the same one she'd been reading on Friday. I lent her a copy of my roller coaster book. Hisao? Lilly? Just before we drop by, Lilly just managed to escape from the noodle store. Noodles! Noodles! With a little help. Do you know who we need in this picture right now? We need the incredible Chaz Bono. Yo, somebody go fetch the incredible Chaz Bono, please. He'd make everything better. That wasn't really an escape. Hanako gives a small giggle, briefly surprising both of us. I just thought that Lilly might not be enjoying the festival. Well, now we can enjoy it together, right? The two nod happily before we set out the library and towards the festivities. I hand over some change to the girl behind the counter and take the 2 styrofoam cups of tea. I try to accent my bow a bit to cover for the fact that she's quite obviously deaf. Come to think of it, it probably should have asked for help instead of leaving those two in the gardens while I bought drinks. I'm pretty sure she said, "Why? I am asking for tea." Trying to juggle the 2 cups of hot tea for them and a can of coffee for myself out of a vending machine. I found that so weird. Isn't exactly easy. With some careful manoeuvring, though, I managed to keep everything stable and upright as I walk over to the bench where Lilly and Hanako were sitting and chatting. It's actually quite a nice place, lit only by moonlight. It's tucked away some distance from the main events. Compared to how hot it had been during the festival, this spot is also pleasantly cool by now. Not that it matters all that much. Most of the visitors have moved to areas that are either closer to the fireworks or higher on the hill in order to view the display or apparently planned. Welcome back, Hisao. Her eyes are good. No, they're not. They're not working. No, they're not. They don't work. Oh, She's got a good eye. She got good eyes. They don't work. Oh, her eyes are. Fuck, we did it again. Her ears are good. I'm not exactly close, and even Hanako hadn't noticed me. Here you go. Sorry it's instant, but that's all I had left by now. Hanako gingerly takes a cup from my right hand, and I gently place the other into Lily's outstretched hands. Did you enjoy the festival then, Hisao? Yeah, it was pretty fun. An honest answer. Much of the food may have been somewhat subpar, but it was a lot of fun in the end, especially with Hanako and Lilly. In fact, I think these two may have enjoyed themselves even more than I did. With both Lilly and I around, much of Hanako's withdrawn nature around others died down enough for her to enjoy herself. Oh God! Someone just shot her! As we sit drinking, the whistle of the first firework rings out before it explodes into a vibrant shower of blue against the night sky, heralding the beginning of the end for the festival. Enthusiastic shouts can be heard from the crowds scattered around the school grounds celebrating them. For minutes on end, Hanako and I watch the fireworks overhead as Lilly blissfully listens to them with her eyes shut. Red, green, yellow, star-shaped, circular and patented, and all manner of shapes and colours fill the air, one after the other, and dance across the sky. No place near where I live put on such lavish displays. Festivals like this are a thing of the past in such a metropolitan area. To be seeing such a sight with these two, it's probably the happiest I've been in a long while. So that's it. The festival's finally ending. Yep. She gives a delicate, wistful sigh. As much as I might complain about all the stuff we have to do, it's still sad that we'll have graduated before the next Yamaku festival. I walk forwards and stand beside Lilly, gently resting a hand on her shoulder. Oh, he's making a move. Hey, Lilly, what's going on? Want to make out in the bushes? Hanako can watch and film. Don't worry, we still have Tanabata. Tanabata! Everybody, Tanabata! You want Tanabata? You got it, Tanabata. You got it, I got another stuff. I got another festival and I say Tanabata. Tanabata. You're right. It would be nice to go over there when it comes. Minutes of silence passed with only the blast of fireworks to be heard. Seeing these two reminds me of those words of advice Lily had given me as we walked into town together. Cherish the opportunity to make new friends. Hey, Lily? She turns her head slightly to show that she's listening. Hanako's gaze still firmly fixed on the technicolor fireworks bursting overhead. You mind if I join you two for tea every now and then? The smile on her face is more than enough to see her answer. It'd be a pleasure, Hisao. Ah, well, that's nice. Oh. Oh, she looks really weird in animation. Oh, jeez. See you next time, guys, for Act 2.